underbelly?
Seedy.
The seedy underbelly.
I like
of Vegas?
seedy. I'm attracted to seedy.
Yeah, we
I
did
like cults in love and seedy behavior.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta travel together, Roxanne.
Yeah. This is really coming together.
Yin and yang.
Ever notice how the harder you look for something, the more it hides? Like trying to see your own eyes without a mirror. Here's a podcast about folks who stopped seeking long enough to realize they already found it. Or maybe they didn't. Hell, maybe there was nothing to find in the first place. Welcome to the Unqualified Yogi podcast, where we're all looking for something we probably already have. At least, that's what we tell ourselves on good days.
It's episode 3.
Yes.
How pumped are you?
I'm so excited.
And this is the second one we've done tonight.
Yes.
Look at us.
I know.
Getting the workout in.
I'm going to be up past 7:30, which is a big deal for me.
That's right. You mentioned that when
7:30 is when you go to bed?
I go to bed at like 7:30 or 8. Yeah. You're going to see my eyes start getting to like really, but I'm so excited. Today we have SiriAtmakaur here.
Hello.
Hello. Do you go by SiriAtma still? Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I'm also embracing my government name a little bit more,
Okay.
which is Karen.
Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Oh.
Yeah. It takes some
That
work
was-
to embrace
that-
that one.
How did you feel when that came about? And you were like, damn it.
I didn't even know. So the last time I had looked my name up on Urban Dictionary was probably like 2009. And then,
Yeah.
I don't know, somewhere around 2016, I'm sitting on the baseball bleachers and this mom who was also named Karen was like, can you believe what they've done to the reputation of our name? And I was like, what are you talking about? Urban Dictionary says we're great. And she's like, no, it doesn't. And I looked it up right then and there and was like,
The internet.
Gonna have to
strikes
change my
again.
name again.
yeah, I was already going by SiriAtma at that point for a few years. So
Well,
And where did that name come about?
there you go.
my Kundalini teacher.
Okay.
So I did all of my Kundalini certifications at an ashram in Kansas City, which is directed by a lovely married couple. And the male, Kartapurik, he knew that I wanted a spiritual destiny name, but that I didn't want to just write in online and have someone assign me one. You know, I specifically said I want it to be someone who has heard my voice and, you know, has like experienced the essence of me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, by the end of that weekend, he asked me permission, you know, would you like me to meditate on it? And he's like, well, I already know what it is. Do you want me to tell you? And I'm like, yeah. And then he told me, and I just thought it was so beautiful. I remember I dropped into Guru Pranam, which is basically child's pose with your arms forward, a pose from Kundalini practice. And, you know, was crying on the ashram floor and just feeling really grateful. And then he proceeded to tell me the meaning and then just more tears.
What is the meaning?
So Siri is high or highest or great or pure.
Okay.
And then Atma is like a female version of Atman, which is soul or self or essence. So
Oh, that's beautiful.
thank you. I thought so too.
Yeah.
And every spiritual destiny name is reminding you that you already have that within you. And so it's calling all of that to the forefront. Like when someone addresses you by that name, you show up in a way that answers to, you know, the call. You've just been called your spiritual destiny names.
Roxanne, you've never given me a name. What's up with that?
Right.
I think you need to up your game here.
I've given you names, just not to your face.
Oh, then what were some of them?
Right. The reclusive, short, bald man.
I see a head of hair here.
No, in the last podcast when I was meeting Jenna, she was like, I for some reason thought you were like a short, reclusive person. I was like, all right, that's a new one.
Just from listening to a previous episode.
No, she hadn't listened to anything. It was just evidently the way that I described him, which I did not describe him that way, but just like a mental image she had in her head. So I, as you've already kind of talked about, I am really, really interested in hearing about your Kundalini journey and your journey in general with yoga. I met you. I mean, it was when I had practicing yoga. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when we met. And I remember, I immediately was attracted to you because you just are that spirit that people are attracted to.
That was a mutual feeling. We had a very instant kismet, like, hi, I love you.
Who are you? Let's run off together.
Yes.
But I went to one of your Kundalini classes, and I remember, and I might tear up talking about it because it was so powerful for me. I had done Kundalini in the past, but not regularly. And every time I've gone, the feeling afterwards has been, you do all the breath work and all this stuff.
Oh, yes. You're high.
You're
on
high.
life force energy.
Yeah. And then sore is all get out the next day. But
yes,
this class that I went to, you had everyone sit and look into each other's eyes.
I love that, Kriya.
And I got paired up with you because everybody paired up and then it was just you and I. And so I got to do it with you. And it was an experience that I will never forget. That I have never had anything like that. Have you ever done anything like that where you just sit speechless and just stare into somebody's eyes?
Not when someone told me to do that. I find myself stumbling into those situations sometimes. Where
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's just like I think
It's never been
you
assigned
see
to me,
you see yourself.
Yes.
And I think because I just love you so much that for me to look into your eyes and see me, it was just such a magical experience that I know that you've touched so many people like that. So I would like to hear about that, but also where you started with yoga and how you came to Kundalini and all of that business.
Okay.
So, how were you first introduced to yoga? Did you start with Kundalini or did you start with something else?
No. So I was a single mom and my kids were very young, 2 and 3. And I was in this book club where, you order so many books each month or whatever. And one of the books I had ordered was Baron Baptiste, Journey into Power. And so I started doing yoga in the backyard in this little patch of sunshine between the houses.
From a book?
From a book, yeah. And sometimes Evan would come out and join me. So he was 2.5. And I remember I used to get so aggravated because he could do all of these upper body arm balances, peacock pose and crow pose. He could just pop right up into them. And I'm like, oh, how can you do that? You're 2.5. I can't do anything close to that. I can now, thank goodness.
Yes.
Not peacock anyway, but.
You still were doing yoga.
Yeah. And so, it was really, I was looking for something to mentally ground me because just the pressure and stress of being a single mom and always being on and never really, also I was in my, late 20s. So I didn't slow down. I didn't pause much. And yeah, I was drinking half a bottle of wine every night as I was tidying up the home and getting everything ready to go again the next morning. So I started doing yoga on the weekends and in my free time and sometimes before bed and fell in love with it. But it was quite a long time before I went to a yoga class.
Okay. Quite a long time, like
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing yoga out of a book for 2 years.
And you still loved it. You were showing up for it.
Yeah. I loved it. And I still, in my description, when I teach, use some of paraphrase, some of the wording, just the way he would describe things in the book. Because I would read those instructions over and over and over. I'd be in the pose and then I'd get out of the pose to look at the book and read all the cues and remember oh yeah, I'm supposed to slide my shoulder blades down when I do this. And, and then I started toying with the idea of reading the book aloud and recording it so that I could just
listen
and practice, but I actually never did. I don't think I had a fancy phone back then that could do those sort of things, you know? So yeah, about 2 years later, little over 2 years later, I went to a donation-oriented class at Schlafly Bottle Works of all places.
Yes.
And it was taught by Josh Wolf. And I had no idea that there were different styles of yoga. So very quickly I realized.
Love Josh. Yeah.
Love Josh. Oh my goodness. Well, forever indebted to him for being my first teacher, you know? So yeah, I realized very quickly that we weren't doing anything out of the book. And the book didn't contain anything we were doing in class.
You were like, that's a prescription. That's a set thing that I have to do, is what you were thinking before you went to his class. Is that right? In your book?
I mean, I guess I knew that the book couldn't encompass everything. So I didn't really find it that weird that nothing from class was in the book. But I'm still just so clueless, right? Yeah. So I'm attending his class for months. And one day I just happened to be the only female student. And
was this in Maplewood?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. In their crown room, before, you know, I don't know that
The only female student?
I was the only female student that day.
I've never even come close to that ratio. Does that exist?
I've had a handful of classes where I was like, wow, I am the only female in the room and I'm the instructor, you know, and then like praising the guys like, yeah, real men do yoga.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. That was back when I was teaching at Healing Arts Center. There were just a handful of guys that were really devout to their Kundalini practice, and every now and then the gals wouldn't show up and the guys would still all be there.
Yeah.
But that was one of those days at Josh's class. So he said something about this Kundalini energy that we're working with, you know, and he must have used the word, it's a feminine energy. And so me just being a total novice, totally clueless, after class I was like, did you say that because I'm here? Like, is it okay that I'm the only girl in class? And he's like, what? Did I say what? What are you talking about? I'm like, you said something about Kundalini, feminine energy. And he's like, because that's what we're working with. And I was like, but I was the only girl here today. And he's like, my dear, you're doing Kundalini yoga. And I was like, what?
Okay, you didn't even know that.
No, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. And so,
how long had you been doing it at that point?
Probably a couple months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
you're just like, this is a different kind of yoga.
Yeah.
I like it.
I was like, oh, you know, and still like just not really processing, but then went to the library, looked up Kundalini yoga online, stumbled upon 3ho.org, which used to be a whole lot cooler than it is now, I gotta say. And yeah, I fell in love. I felt like I had found what I was looking for. Yeah.
You know, I had a teacher, Sod Ender, when he was here, Keith Mitchell, he used to be.
Yes.
But when he actually, when he was my teacher, initially he was Keith Mitchell, and then he found Kundalini as he was my teacher. Yes. So that's how I was introduced to it. And he would go to like the summer solstice things, and he would share pictures with me, and he'd be like, these are your people, Roxanne, like you would love it. And it was something that if I didn't have little kids, and it's quite a commitment, which we'll get into eventually, but I was attracted to the people.
Yeah.
Because the people they looked
radiant
and
alive.
Yes.
And youthful and jubilant.
Yes.
And yeah. It's true. All the Kundalini kids are, you know.
So that was really your first public class was Kundalini.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, over my years of teaching, I've found that a lot in students where if they start with Hatha, they think Kundalini is really hard, really weird. And if they start with Kundalini, nothing ever really touches it.
That's right.
When they start doing other styles.
Have you ever done Kundalini?
Yes.
Okay.
But what is it? Like I know Vinyasa, and basically that's it. I've taken pretty much every yoga class, but what is Kundalini? Because when you said you were the only girl in the class, I thought it would be even worse than like Vinyasa, which is usually like 70-30 probably, which is 70-30, maybe 60-40 women to men.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess those classes were usually around 50-50. I guess maybe
Really?
just with him being a male teacher.
Attracted.
Yeah.
It was a safe space.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. And, still Facebook friends with so many people that I met in that class.
How would you
in Josh's
describe it?
class. Well, Kundalini works with formulas. So I think that's where a lot of the like dopamine and endorphin rush comes in that gives you that high, is because you're going to be doing something for a certain period of time. And as a teacher, I would never tell people how long we were going to do something. But if you're just looking at the Kriya and you're going to practice it yourself, you're obviously seeing the instructions. And
the
you know what
Kriya
you're
is
in
the
for.
formula.
Yeah, a Kriya is a formula.
Yes.
So it can be any combination of static postures where you're just getting in a position and holding still, or dynamic movement where you're, maybe twisting and inhaling to your left, exhaling to your right, or inhaling your elbows up, exhaling them down, something like that, moving with your breath. Different pranayama practices, breathing patterns, different mantras, like
a lot of
chants.
repetitive motions.
Yeah, a lot of repetitive, either through breath or movement, or even making sounds out loud, or just vibrating them silently in the mind. Even mudras, like sealing the hands and fingers together in a certain way.
Fixed gazes.
Yep. Drishtis. Yep. So it can be any combination of that, any number of exercises. The typical duration of each exercise is around 3 minutes. And, there's allegedly a whole science around that. Like after 1 minute, your blood has taken a full circulation journey through your circulatory system. And so 3 times a charm. And within 3 minutes, whatever you're doing, it actually has the potential to change the composition of the blood cells in your brain. And and then at 7 minutes, there's another whole layer of effects, and at 11 minutes, and at 22 minutes, and 31 minutes, and 62 minutes. And
would you do them for that long?
there are certain kriyas that are just one exercise, and it's multi-layered.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're instructed to build up to 62 minutes.
Okay.
Seems like a very easy way to come up with a playlist around that set schedule. You're like just looking at the time and you're like, okay, this is when this is going to happen, and boom, Metallica.
Oh,
Are we
yes.
thinking?
Oh, creating the playlist for Kundalini classes was one of my favorite parts of teaching Kundalini.
But Metallica probably didn't make the list, right?
No, it did
Okay,
not.
yeah.
That's why that's funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
But you know what? I mean, if you were a Kundalini teacher that wanted to put some Metallica in there, could you, or was that kind of against?
Well, it used to be, really drilled into all Kundalini teachers only use Kundalini mantra music for class.
Yes.
And then all these Kundalini mantra artists started coming out with all these songs that...
Which I actually play in class sometimes.
Yeah. And so these artists are creating more music that maybe just has a snippet of mantra in it, and mostly English lyrics, and, always talking about like being human or seeking spiritually. So kind of on par, but I would
sneak some stuff in.
I would cheat, and I would sneak some stuff in that, was just beautiful instrumental, or, English lyrics that...
More secular music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but nowadays, I think those that are still teaching Kundalini, I think there's some that are just very devout to the old, ritualistic way of doing it, and old tradition. And I think that there are plenty of us that just kind of do what feels right. And but that was frowned upon because it was all about protecting the integrity of the formulas.
So the training, when you were with Josh, how long until you thought, maybe this is something I want to teach?
So I guess I was practicing with him for about 3 months until I decided I want to be
got the bug.
a yoga teacher.
Yeah.
Yes. And then...
What were you doing for work at the time?
What was I doing for work back then? I know I was I worked for... I've been through several periods of my life where I've just had several part-time jobs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to do it.
I know I was at Recycling on the Go back then.
Okay.
I used to pick recycling out of the trash at big events around St. Louis and ride around on a golf cart and get a suntan and socialize.
I love that.
Educate people about, what goes where, compost, recycle, trash, all this stuff. I also worked at Harris House Foundation, a rehab facility. I was down at their Broadway location where their stairs program used to be, their 28 30-day program. There was like some Trader Joe's time in there.
There was.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, probably a restaurant or two, like Pie Pizzeria.
Yeah.
I know I was working at Pie when I started practicing out of the book.
Which one?
Okay.
I started at Del Mar and then helped them open Kirkwood and worked pretty full time at Kirkwood, but I would also pick up shifts at Del Mar. And then they started opening like downtown and Chesterfield.
Oh, I didn't even realize they had. Are they all closed?
There may be one still open.
Okay.
But I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sorry I interrupted you. You, it was about 3 months and you're like, I want to be a yoga teacher.
Oh yeah. But see, I was a single mom with 2 little kids. So, and there was no Kundalini teacher training in St. Louis. So I just had this limited view of like, well, I can't travel. I have to be here.
Yeah.
So I took Jaime Sanchez's classical 200-hour yoga teacher certification.
Okay.
And so I met a friend through class, Yevgeny, and he started taking me to Heather Dawn's yoga classes at camp on Cherokee. It stood for Community Arts Movement Project.
Okay.
And I loved Heather's style, and it wasn't Kundalini, and I just loved her style so much. And
what would you say it was?
Well, she was just. I just love her.
Yeah.
You know, she's just this.
Whatever she's doing, you loved it.
Yeah. And I saw an opportunity to like, you know, express me and like throw a little humor in there in class and, you know, just, like scoop all these students under your wing as your little lovies that you're going to guide at least in one area of life that, you know, has helped you, and you get to ripple that out, you know? So I was like, yeah, where'd you get certified? And so she recommended Jaime's program, which is West East Yoga Teacher Training.
Yeah.
So yeah, I graduated from that back in 2012. But even before graduating from that, once I had it in my head, like, okay, well, I'm unavailable to my kids 1 weekend a month. So it doesn't really matter if it's in St. Louis or elsewhere. So I had already signed up for the Kundalini training in Kansas City before I even graduated. And then I went
and
to
that's the main
Solstice.
one that people in St. Louis go to, is that one, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Or went to.
I mean,
Go to,
it might have been because I was always talking that one up. But, there's also programs where you can go to India or somewhere lovely, or even New Mexico for 30 days and come home a certified Kundalini level 1 teacher.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people that did that kind of.
And you would just
training
go
too.
on weekends to Kansas City?
Mm-hmm. So for mine, it was 1 weekend a month in St. Louis with Jaime's classical yoga training, and then 1 weekend a month in Kansas City with Sadinder.
Did them at the same
Karthik.
time?
No, I guess there was.
Okay.
There was like maybe 9 months between when I graduated and when the next one started, but I signed up already before I had even graduated the first one. And then I went to Summer Solstice before I even started Kundalini teacher training. And I really had this feeling of like, I'm not worthy, like I'm not holy enough to go on these sacred grounds and be at Summer Solstice. I'm not even a certified Kundalini teacher. I've only been practicing Kundalini.
And then you got there.
Yeah.
And
well, actually, my friend who was helping me pack pulled up some videos of past solstices, and I saw the eclecticism, and was like, oh, everyone belongs.
That's right.
And I was like, okay, I do belong there.
Yeah. And what was your first experience?
Oh gosh.
Like?
And then I went, and it was life-changing just to do so much Kundalini yoga all day and
with so many people.
Be around all these people whose life energy is just like soaring and
in white.
Yes,
everyone's in white.
Well, for 3 days of the festival,
okay,
everyone absolutely wears all white for the 3 days of white Tantric Yoga, which is under the Kundalini umbrella, and there were only 12 Tantric facilitators in the whole world, and you have to have a Tantric facilitator present to do white Tantra Yoga. And you sit in lines and you partner up. So you can be with your romantic partner, you can be with your friend, your teacher, your child, or you could get paired up with a total stranger. So it's kind of like filling out your dance card when you get to summer solstice, like as the days go on, you're like, do you have a partner for day one? Like, you know, when we just have a connection like you and I did when we met. There was a gal on my service, like work trade team. They call it SEVA, selfless service. So she was on my SEVA team, and we had that. And so she was my partner for day one. A fella I met was my partner for day two. And then my teacher at the time was my partner for day three.
And you don't wear all white for those days?
For those days you do.
Okay.
Yeah, for those days, everyone does.
Okay.
You're required to
Okay.
be in all white and have your head covered.
Okay.
The rest of the festival, you can be yourself if you want to. You
Oh.
Can, yeah.
Okay.
Or, you know.
I had never seen those pictures where everybody didn't have the...
I think I mostly wore all white anytime I was doing anything Kundalini related.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And covered my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let your hair grow out. You didn't cut your hair?
I didn't cut my hair. I didn't remove any hair from my body.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even like plucking my eyebrows or shaving my underarms or anything else. Yeah. My kids used to get really embarrassed going to the pool with me. My friends used to tell me, you can't wear that pretty dress with those hairy legs, and watch me.
That's right. And you know, that's part of when I shaved my head. It's kind of like, per whose standard of beauty?
Yeah.
Like, if you feel beautiful and you feel like actually good because it's for a reason,
Right.
that shows more than...
How much time did it take for you to think about shaving your head and then do it? Like, was this
It's something
couple hours?
I've thought about doing for
Okay.
a long time.
For years.
For years.
What led up to that? And did you do it yourself? Or did you go?
Yeah, I did it myself.
When did you do it the first time?
I did it in, I think it was in May, maybe
Okay.
May or June.
Yeah.
I think May. Yeah, it's something I've always wanted to do. And, you know, I got divorced last year, and I feel like last year was kind of a year of mourning. And this year I could feel myself starting to come alive again and, like, you know, do the things that light me up again. And I just wanted to. And so it was scary because you don't know what, everyone's like, oh, well, you can do it. You've got a good shaped head. I'm like, well, I didn't know it when I cut it.
Right.
I didn't know what was underneath here.
Right.
And I started doing it, and I started giggling. And then I love it. I think for me, it is a sign of, like, freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom of attachment, freedom of all the old history that hair holds.
Not identifying with.
And freedom from needing to operate under a male's gaze, you know, like needing to look for that attention or that. And just, I feel like it's been a great experience for me.
I could see how that would be very liberating. It
Yeah.
was like that, to just let go of shaving, you know,
Yeah.
and plucking, you know. That whole experience really helped me embody the Kundalini teaching of, like, there's nothing to make up for. Your creator made you exactly as you're meant to be. So,
Yes.
you know, and then, like, over the years, you know, like, yeah, sometimes I just feel like being a little more polished up. And so I'll shave when I want to, and I don't when I don't want to.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Boss bitch.
Yes.
Doing what you want when you want to.
Well, it was
Right?
hilarious when I didn't shave ever, because I was single for, you know, a portion of that time. And I remember, like, I'd be vibing with somebody on the dance floor, and then as soon as my arms would go up, they'd run in the other direction. And I'm like, bye.
Right. Not my person.
Right. These are my filters.
That's right. Yes. And I've said that, even just cutting this off, I have said, like, it has really been able to clarify for me who my people are and who they aren't a little when I meet them. Like, because
Do people, like, they just stare?
there are men that when I first did it, there were students that were like, why did you do that? Are you going to grow it back out? Like, and then somebody was like, you're not blonde anymore. And I was like, I haven't been blonde in a long time. I was dyeing it. And but then there'd be the men that would come up, and, you know, I think it's an age thing. I feel like it was a generation. When I was at the doctor yesterday, I mentioned the second time I've mentioned my gynecologist appointment yesterday, but I went to the gynecologist yesterday.
It must have been on the previous.
You gotta
Yes,
do
I
it.
was.
You gotta do it 3 times.
Three
That's
times.
when the energy changes.
Okay, that's right. Well, so she was an older woman who wore a lot of makeup, and she was beautiful. But she asked me about my hair, and she's like, well, you can get away with it. A lot of people can't. And I said, I'm going to disagree with you. Like, I feel like anyone can do it. It's about what's on the inside coming out. It isn't about how we wear our hair or whatever. She's like, we come from different generations. She's older. She's like, we come from different generations. And I was really taught, you don't leave your house without a face on, without like having it put together and having the hair just perfect and the face. And I was like, I grew up, my mom was a hippie. She didn't wear makeup. Like, I've never grown up with that. But I do think that there was a generation. So I think that the men of that generation are used to women looking pretty per a certain standard. I think I look beautiful.
I do too.
I do.
I agree 100%. You always look beautiful. I've known you
Yes.
with dreadlocks when I
Yes.
first met you.
Do you have any photos of this?
Maybe.
We can.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll have my people get
I'm
in
not
touch
the
with your
best at
people.
taking photos.
I'm not either.
And I know she's too cool for socials.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about too cool. Not
If
cool enough.
anyone listening has
It's probably
photos
not
of
cool enough.
Roxanne and dreadlocks, please email them to me.
There you go.
It'll
But
be in the show
then
notes.
when you cut them off, you had quite short hair.
I did.
Not
Yes.
maybe not buzzed, or was it buzzed?
It wasn't buzzed.
Okay.
It was like
Okay.
a pixie cut.
Okay.
The
And I
person who
loved
did
that
it did a
look on
really
you
good
too.
job pulling it out
Okay.
so that it was
that you had like an inch or two.
I had a good cut, good short cut.
Yeah, you had a
which
very
was not
cute
the first time I
pixie.
had a shortcut like that.
Yeah, and then I,
yeah.
then it kind of
Grew
grew
out.
out for a while, and now it's all gone. And
I had
you always-
extensions for a
you
while.
always look beautiful and radiant and
Yes.
magnetic and
Whatever it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
So I think that, and then there's been, younger men that have been like, you look badass. You look great. And I was like,
love
thank you. So, and also, I really don't care.
Yeah.
So
5 minutes. That's all you want. 5 minutes of silence at the end of class. But there's always someone. The early packer? The loud sire? The person whose phone is ringing. The Savasana silencer creates a soundproof barrier around disruptive yogis. They can't hear themselves. You can't hear them. Everyone achieves peace. The Savasana silencer. Because 5 minutes of silence is a human right. Rental units available for your studio.
That's been a fun mission for me to play with, of just being unfuckwithable. Like
Yes.
not letting.
Put that on a business card.
Well, it's becoming
Unfuckwithable.
Quite the,
That's fun to say too. I don't think I've ever
I
said
see
that.
a lot of people using that term now,
Unfuckwithable.
and one of my most recent coaches is who introduced it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dig
but
it.
good for you.
that was that was kind of the moment where I was like, oh, I will work with her. And she was like something, but I'm still whatever because I'm unfuckwithable. And I was like, I need me some of that.
Yes.
I need me.
We
a
can
whole
all
lot more
use
of
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where were we in the Kundalini story?
Well, I
You
went
summer
to, I went to
solstice.
solstice. Yeah. Okay. So the practice that you and I experienced together, where we gazed into each other's eyes, probably I'm going to say for 90 seconds, because that kriya is 3 minutes long, and the first half you're looking into your partner's eyes, and then the second half you close your eyes and you look within. And that is one of the instructions when you first pair up and gaze into each other's eyes is, the eyes are the window to the soul, and you're going to be looking into this person's soul, and you're also allowing yourself to be seen as soul. And you know what can happen in 90 seconds.
I cried. I was
Really?
crying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Most people do, especially their first time.
Yeah.
And so White Tantric Yoga days are 8 to 10 hour courses of doing that.
All day long. You're
All
doing
day
8 to 10,
long,
just
8
with a new
8 to
partner or
10
the same
hours.
partner?
The same partner, unless your partner needs to step away for whatever reason.
For a bio break.
Exactly. So, or sometimes they just freak out because
Really?
it brings all your shit up, especially if you're doing it with someone you have any form of relationship with. With a stranger, it might not bring up as much.
Because there's no words. There's just soul gazing.
If there are words, it's mantra chanting. So the kriyas throughout that day are all either sometimes there's a day where it's all 11-minute kriyas. I've never attended one of those. So what's more typical is it's some combination of 31 and 62-minute long practices. And then you get about a 20-minute break in between. So everybody's like getting up and moving around and massaging each other and drinking and going to the bathroom and eating snacks. And
This sounds great. Everything you just said, the last 5 verbs were great.
Eating snacks, massaging.
yeah, because
I heard a lot of them.
you're sitting all day and you're not just sitting there staring into their eyes. You're also, your arms could be up at like a 60-degree angle for 62 minutes.
62 minutes with your arms straight
62
up?
minutes.
That's
So
so
people
hard
are
to do.
crying, laughing, screaming, putting their arms down. You know, I mean, no, there's no like police coming around being like arms up, you know. But everyone there
But you
wants
want to.
to.
You want to achieve the. You don't want to take a shortcut.
And you want to see what comes of pushing yourself that far outside the comfort zone. You know, and just edging yourself out there. You know, just ride your own edge.
Who wrote these kriyas?
I guess Yogi Bhajan, and then here we go.
Okay. Well, and we can get there in a second. So you went there, and then you started teaching Kundalini.
Yes.
Okay.
So actually, I met my teachers there. I just happened to see Sadinder of the married couple, the wife, passing out some flyers for the yoga teacher training in Kansas City at the ashram, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're from Kansas City? You know, like I'm already signed up for this teacher training program. And they were like, oh, lovely to meet you. You know, and she's like, you're already a certified yoga teacher? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, then just start teaching Kundalini, any kriyas that you know.
Oh, really?
Because you have all the instructions right there, you know. She's like, yeah, go ahead and just start.
Oh, that's
you know?
great.
And, yeah. And so
Who was teaching in St. Louis at that time? Nancy, Josh.
And then Phoenix.
Yes.
And myself.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was teaching at the park. I was teaching donation-oriented classes at the park. I was very anti-yoga studio when I first gained certification. I would go, you know,
And for what reason?
I felt like yoga studios were just going to be another experience for me, which I can look back now and see that a lot of times I was rejecting out of fear of being rejected, but it felt like another, like the school mom group or it just felt like another
click.
A bunch of Karens.
Hey now. Yeah, so I really thought that it was like, how cute do I look in my yoga pants? And that was like all there is to it. You
That's
know?
what I thought too. I was scared.
Yeah. And then studio owners started reaching out to me specifically because I was a Kundalini teacher and they wanted Kundalini at the studio. And that was a whole experience too. You know, like I'd have other teachers come in from neighboring classrooms and be like, can you guys keep it down? I'm like, no, this is what we do in Kundalini. Sorry. We pound the floor and we yell at the top of our lungs and we do all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah. I went to a class of Nancy's once in Lafayette Square at the Old Marbles. Do you remember that studio?
I never went there, no.
Okay. Well, she had us, it was some sort of like big festival day, a certain day, and we ended up marching around the room chanting, and I was engaged at the time, and I had brought this guy who was like, he was a triathlete, he would do like Ironman stuff, you know, like he was just.
So he was tough.
He was tough. And this was so out of his comfort zone, and he did it. And afterwards he was like, how do you know that what they were having us say isn't like harmful for us? And I was like, well, I mean, we don't, but I don't think it is.
Well, and the mind is so powerful.
Yeah.
Of assigning meaning, that's why placebos work. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So you started teaching around.
Yeah.
And so you taught Kundalini you taught strictly Kundalini, or did you
Every now
do a
and
little?
then I'd be like, hey, there's a Hatha yoga on my class or a Hatha class on my schedule again. You guys, like who wants to practice with me but doesn't like Kundalini?
And you liked doing that every once in a while too?
Yeah, I could never. I
think you subbed for me a couple times at PY, like a regular Hatha class.
Yeah. And I always felt like I couldn't ever choose between the two. Like I couldn't be an either or.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was teaching Kundalini and practicing Kundalini at home. But then when I go to other folks' classes, it was usually not Kundalini.
And then is a daily practice except for like full moons and menstrual cycles. Is that right?
Oh, ideally, if you're following the traditional
It's all the
teachings,
time.
it is every day because you're choosing a Kriya to do for either 40 days in a row, 90 days in a row, 120 days in a row, up to 1,000 days in a row.
So there's nothing around moons in Kundalini.
There are certain practices that you can do. Like there's a healing ring of tantric energy that's only to be done on or around the full moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can practice on your cycle when you're menstruating.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Are there
chant on your cycle. I was taught in my original YTT, like maybe don't chant when you're on your cycle because your vibration's so off. And I was like, talking to the wrong girl, telling me that makes me less than to be bleeding.
Yep. Yep.
She's unshut-upable.
The red tent. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how long did you teach Kundalini?
From 2013, when my teacher told me go ahead and start teaching, until this past December.
And tell us about this past December.
Well,
Whatever you're comfortable sharing.
So a documentary came out, I think at the end of October of 24, called Breath of Fire. And
We've both seen it.
okay.
I watch it every Thursday, front to back.
Yeah, it's like a limited docu-series. It's not all like all one
4
sitting.
episodes.
Yeah. And it was about this woman.
Depends how long you sit, right, Gary?
Here's how I watch it. Once I sit down,
I don't think all the episodes were out when I started it.
Okay.
I remember like craving seeing the rest of it.
When you started it, did you hear about it or did you see it show up on the Netflix or whatever it was on?
Okay,
YouTube
so
or whatever.
If we back up a little bit,
Yeah.
like the last Solstice gathering that I went to, because these were every June in New Mexico and every December in Florida. And, as Kundalini yogis, we were taught that if you make it to Solstice every 6 months, whatever happens in between in those 6 months, like you're going to get all reset at the next solstice and you're going to get so charged up that you can hold yourself and carry yourself through whatever happens because 6 months later,
It was like
you'll be back.
recalibration.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I devoutly went to every solstice. There was a little time I took off because of having a pregnancy and a very young child. However, I was at most of those solstices over those years. And the last time I went was 2019's winter solstice.
Okay.
So then in 2020,
COVID.
Mm-hmm, right before COVID hit, I caught wind of a book that had been released called White Bird in a Golden Cage. And it was one woman's story, personal story about her relation with Yogi Bhajan, who is said to have brought Kundalini yoga from the West and started from the East and started teaching it openly in the West. So introduced all of us Americans to these teachings. And
who was his teacher? Did he reference that or did?
So he does reference that. And that's a big qualm with Kundalini yoga as taught by Yogi Bhajan, is that you cannot follow the lineage back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the story is that his family they were praying for a boy, and they were, making all of these prayers and promises that if they were gifted a son, they would, bring him before all the gurus and saints and yogis and masters and make sure his life was devoted to rippling out these spiritual teachings and, humanity having less suffering. And so then they followed. So when he was born, they followed through on that. And he would say that, so I never met him personally.
Their son.
So Yogi Bhajan would
tell the story.
Testament that he was really touched by the fact that they followed through on those promises, and that had an influence on him, that it simply that his parents followed through, and it meant that much to them. And then
Yogi Bhajan was the son.
Yes.
Okay.
And so and he says that these people that they exposed him to and their teachings, that had a very strong influence on him at a young age. So he was allegedly a Hatha yoga master at like age 12 and Kundalini yoga master at age 16. It was, he like begged his teacher to share one kriya with him, and was told to sit in a tree and not get down until the teacher came back, and the teacher didn't come back for days. And so Yogi Bhajan's like learning how to like defecate from the tree and sleep in the tree.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's the story.
These are the stories.
Mm-hmm. And then came to America or Canada. I've heard both. I've heard that he went to Canada first, LA first, but for like a conference, and that the professor that had arranged his visit and to be a guest speaker or whatnot, he passed away while Yogi Bhajan was like in flight, and then shows up and has like $70 in his pocket and is in sandals because he came from India, and now he's in Toronto or something. And, that he just kind of had to figure it out. And through interacting with all of these Americans or maybe Canadians, just realized.
What time frame is this?
Late 60s.
Okay. Prime time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So sees all of this,
discord,
forward movement of like, we want something more.
Yes.
And yet sees all of these substances. And he would say, every great civilization has fallen from the use of a substance, but here in America, you have it all. Mm-hmm. The peyote, the opiates, all of it, the alcohol, the marijuana.
He wasn't into the LSD.
So he starts preaching to all these seekers, this is the highest high.
Okay.
This is, this is sustainable.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for it. It's not illegal.
You're not going outside of yourself. You're finding that high within you.
Yeah. And that became another infamous quote of his was, when you don't go within, you go without.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a great quote. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's, I studied at the School of Metaphysics for a while, and there was a really beautiful story about how all of the gods were, trying to decide where to hide it. Where do you hide it? Like the self-knowledge, the self-love, the self-acceptance, like the it, the samadhi or nirvana
realization
or whatever. Yeah, self-realization. And, the god of the sky says here and the god of the earth says here. Well, then the goddess of love said, we'll hide it within, because only the noble intented will think to look there. Only the nobly intented will actually go there and take the time to go within. And then it can't be, savaged or fall into the wrong hands.
It's protected there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So with Yogi Bhajan, okay. So all these, I had heard rumors that there were, some allegations and stuff. Again, I had never met him.
From this book?
No, I didn't read the book. Just
okay.
just around the circle
okay.
at Solstice.
Okay.
I had heard little bitty bits, but I had never met him. It wasn't about him for me. It was about the way the practice
Yes.
made me feel, the way the lifestyle was helping me clean up my act. So I just, I just didn't really like play into the drama of it. And then this book came out and it got very, very dramatic, very, very suddenly. And again, I didn't want to fall into the drama of it. I was just like, hey, all I know is what I feel and what I witness in my students when they're practicing right in front of me. And I'm going to keep teaching, and I don't
want to be a part of the rumor mill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I didn't ever read the book, and I loosened up on the rigidity around teaching. Like now I'm playing all the cool songs I like for Kundalini class, you know, not using any mantra music, not wearing white, not covering my head.
Okay.
Now I'm like the rogue Kundalini yogi, right?
Because you're like, who's going to do something about it?
Unfuckwithable.
Right?
Well, and you know, I do see how all that discipline served me to an extent until it didn't. And I'm proud of myself that I let it go once I realized it was hindering instead of serving me.
Yeah.
Discipline
is important. And then when it's no longer serving you, you know, my teacher would say, you have to know the rules before you can break them. Mm-hmm. So like you have to fully absorb and know what it does for you. And then when it's not working, then you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even, you know, like when I first got into Kundalini Yoga, I noticed that a lot of one of the teachings was so it's so intertwined with Sikh Dharma, and there's 5 Ks of Sikh Dharma, and one of those Ks is called Kesh, and that's not removing hair from your body. You know, so I just happened to be hanging out with this gal who's like a dear sister to me. Yesterday was her birthday, but this was long time ago, and she's like the ultimate hippie chick, you know, and I'm hanging out with her, and I realize she doesn't shave her legs, and I'm like, oh, I just don't know if I can get down with that. But then lo and behold, within like 6 months, I'm the one not shaving any parts of my body. And, you know, and being like, why would you? It's a natural part of your body.
That's right.
Like, why would you remove it? And, you know, and now I do sometimes and don't sometimes and whatever. But yeah, just odd how there were things where I was like, oh, I don't think I would ever get that into it. And then eventually I was very much that into it. And then there were times where I was like, oh, I don't think I would ever let this go. And then there came a time where it was like, yeah, it's time to let this go.
And you're listening to yourself along the way.
Yeah. You know, I went to some Sikh gurdwaras here in St. Louis, and a gentleman pulled me aside and was like, don't be a fanatic. He was like, just do what feels right for you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I would have expected
a different
to
answer.
Be like drawn into, you know, the Dharma. And he was just kind of like looking at me like, all of these people get born into this. And here you are walking up choosing this. He's like, just keep choosing for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I'll always remember him. Yeah. Okay. So the allegations all come out. I'm still teaching. Kind of rogue. Now this documentary comes out, and it's about a woman who was gaining great success through, some people were saying like she was becoming the next Yogi Bhajan. Right?
She was young.
Yeah. Young and vibrant and spunky and rogue.
Charismatic.
And yes, very charismatic. I was like in her vicinity, like very close to her at some white tantric courses and stuff, but I never took a class from her. I never went to Rama Institute in LA or anything like that.
But you've met her.
Yeah. Well, not directly, just like
in circles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, she was just having so much success, and then all of a sudden she passed away, and it was like she went in for a surgery and got a blood clot, and, you know, just didn't survive this outpatient surgery. And I had also heard, you know, some stuff like around Solstice about things being like too rigid and strict, like if you were, you know, part of her staff and whatnot, you know, that it wasn't like the wealth wasn't being shared and stuff like that. So there's just again, just like steered clear of the drama. Yeah. Never really formed a strong opinion one way or the other, you know, was just like, nah, no thanks. And so Yeah, I watched the documentary.
Did it break your heart?
It absolutely broke my heart. It absolutely broke my heart. Unfortunately, I do know on a personal level the mother of the girl that told her story about her 18th birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. And I've met the daughter, you know, but I have like a closer acquaintance relationship with the mother. And yeah, and just the whole thing broke my heart. The whole thing about like all of it being made up. You know, it's like, well, you can't deny how you feel after doing these things. And wasn't every style of yoga like designed or made up or channeled by some human being, right? You know, so but in the end,
how do you sit with that? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Come to terms with, like, you have this new knowledge. Did you take it as knowledge?
Yeah.
It's fact.
I didn't.
You didn't question.
No.
You didn't go into a denial and like.
I know that's what documentaries are aimed to do, is to, you know, steer your viewpoint in one direction. And yet, like I said, I knew those women. I had stood next to those women. I had like directly looked into those women's eyes and spoken with them. And yeah. And
so what effect did that documentary have on this entire Kundalini community? Because did you say you taught up until right around that time? Did that have anything to do with you not teaching?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the one place where I was teaching Kundalini, they were like, we don't want Kundalini by Yoga Bhajan on the schedule here. And I was like, okay, you know, do you still want me? Like, that's the only reason you originally wanted me. And they're like, of course we still want you, you know? So I started teaching slow flow there, and it didn't pan out. Just the time of the class and day of the week and stuff just didn't pan out. But that felt beautiful, you know, to know that I was not only valued for having a niche, you know.
Of course. Of
So
course.
did they cancel the class just based on the documentary, or did attendance just drop?
Attendance never really built up. We opened in the middle of the winter, and my class time was late on a Monday night. It was the only thing I could squeeze into my schedule. But she's, you know, the studio owner had mentioned that there was a lot of people specifically asking for Kundalini, and I had a lot of people asking, and I was only teaching out in Wildwood. So I thought, yeah, you know.
There wasn't a ton of it in St. Louis.
There hasn't been a ton of it since the allegations and the book, and then COVID all hit at the same time. So there was actually a St. Louis yoga teacher training taking place.
Okay.
And that was halted when the allegations came out.
Okay.
And then COVID shut everything down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was heartbreaking, and it made me feel like I got duped. I got like sucked into, you know, I drank the Kool-Aid. I was following cult culture. You know, so many accusations of it being a cult over the years. And I'd always say like, oh, well, you know, we look crazy to the ones who are crazy, but we do all of this on our mat so that we don't go crazy out there in real life. You're putting yourself under this pressure, and then you become unfuckwithable. And, yeah, I would always, you know, say like, oh, we're cultivating consciousness, you know.
We talked about on the previous episode, our guest before, we both have talked with each other that, I mean, I am 100% primed for a cult. I would 100% drink
Where
the
do I
Kool-Aid.
apply?
You tell me the right things. Like I would love a matching outfit. I would like to have, you know, love be the premise of gathering with like-minded people, and just, you know, my family life was a little crazy growing up. It would be great. Like I would be the first. I've watched a lot of different documentaries on cults, and I've been like, I would have totally been a part of that. And I don't know what it is, but I think that, and you know, I've been a part of different groups that people have considered cult-like groups.
Yeah, I've been a part of several groups that get
Yes.
accused of being a cult, not
Yes.
just Kundalini yoga.
Right. Friends of Bill's that people have said that's a cult. And I just would say like, well, if it's a cult, it's a cult because it works.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're in it, did this solstice thing still go on?
It took a minute, and then they did resume. I haven't attended. I have no interest in attending.
Okay, but they still go on.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if they're of the same caliber as far as like how many people or what all is, going on there. It was such a, it would just pull you out of your normal life, so it was advertised or described rather as it's not a retreat. It's just an opportunity for you to retreat from your normal daily busy overstimulated life and come here and detox because your food was included in your ticket, but it was a detox diet. It was potato and onion soup for breakfast with an orange and a banana, and with all the spices that clear you out, and then
I mean, it sounds I love a potato.
and then there was
soup.
like a set lunch for summer and a set lunch for
Wait,
winter.
it was a potato and onion soup, or potato and onion soup is one thing?
Potato and onion soup.
Oh, I thought you got a potato
No.
and then onion soup. I was like,
you got soup made from potatoes and onions and spices, and then you got given a
back in Eastern
banana
Europe.
and an orange. Yes, and
so
and
we're
then
gonna be
there
in
was
shape. Sounds like we're gonna be in shape. I can't get any junk food.
you're gonna be cleared out.
Yeah, this sounds great. This sounds like a team sport, but without a lot of competition. Just
They
like,
need our sponsor, the pants.
that's what a cult is. It's like you're on a team, a competitive team sport. You're all wearing the same thing: jerseys, uniforms. You're always around each other. Everyone's
Sports
kind of
is
got
a
a
little
role.
culty.
It is.
It is.
You get a different language that you speak.
Yeah,
That
someone barking orders at you, like run faster,
And you listen.
listen,
yeah, you do.
meditate harder. It's the same thing, but less prone to injury.
It's yes.
And you know what? Like when you were talking about that, how you'd be prime for, joining a cult, and you're like, I don't know what it is. I was like, yeah, what is it? I think it's that urge to merge back together as one. So especially with the
merge.
premise of love at the forefront,
Yes.
it's like, yeah, we all stem from this one same source, but we're split into many. So this source can experience
And this
itself.
makes me sad.
And we
Yeah.
are all here just like urging to merge back together
Yes.
as one at source, the source of love. And so, of course,
Yes.
cults feel, like, yeah, I've got
I'm
people
home.
who understand. Yes, and that's exactly how I felt when
I'm
I found
home.
3ho.org. Yeah, and I found 3HO through the website, the Healthy, Happy, Holy organization.
Healthy, happy, holy.
I heard that it used to be a lot cooler on that website.
It did. It did. Now it's quite watered down. Like it used to be
Vibrant.
Yeah, and it's you can still look up your tantric numerology reading, but they used to prescribe different kriyas for you and then even like non-kundalini things to do. Like some would say keep your hair long and uncut. Some would say sing anything that makes you happy and let others, experience hearing that through you singing joyfully, and they don't have all of that on there anymore. There's a lot of kriyas that just aren't up on the website anymore. A lot of kriyas and meditations.
Do you think it's from this documentary, or why? Like why?
I think it was all made more palatable because of all the controversy. For all
They took
the
anything that was
controversy.
maybe too a little outer outskirts
Yeah.
to be more palatable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can only assume that is,
Yeah.
the why or how around it. But
So are you leaning hard into a different type of yoga now?
I really like slow flow. I like to teach it more of like a dance, almost like a choreography. I'm really about like freedom of feminine expression and recognizing that your eros, your life force energy, is creative energy and therefore has a sensual and erotic feel to it. And for all beings to embrace that and not feel like that's something that is taboo. Not just women,
No.
all beings.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of men come to my class and I don't change
No.
how we're moving just
we
because
all
there's
have
men in the
feminine
class.
men have feminine energy as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So yeah, I just, I really like, so that I'll work in the repetitive movement and then we'll flow into something else that's like a little series of repetitive movement. But then at the end of class, we'll flow through it all just one time. So it's almost like you're learning a choreography. Yeah. And I don't have any training in dance or experience other than just getting out there and being my wild little self on the dance floor. But
Yeah. You were a deadhead, yeah?
no,
Oh, you weren't.
actually, I was
met your...
So
Yes.
my former partner of over 10 years, he was a big deadhead. And through our relationship, I finally developed quite an appreciation for the Grateful Dead.
I love the Grateful
Especially
Dead.
going to the sphere.
But I wouldn't call myself that because true deadheads can tell you like, oh, that song, that's from the concert 19 blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah
I'm not
at
on
this
that
field.
level.
And I am not at that level. I know a lot of the song. I like it a lot. But I can't, I would not call myself a deadhead.
That sounds like the same people that are into Fish. Like, I like Fish. I've listened to Fish, but the people that are really into Fish, they're like, bro, live Oregon, 1997.
Yeah, that's how they talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the second set, bro. Like,
Yeah.
get out of here with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a thing.
Yes.
Um,
I just love music. I love live music. I don't even really have to, I like it better when I know the music, but I'll just,
you like to move.
I like to see the creation process,
Yes.
like I like to watch the fingers on the guitar. I like to watch the facial expressions of the singers. I don't just want to hear it. I want to see your fingers pound the keyboard, I want to see the broken string go flying off the guitar.
I love watching people perform, express themselves.
Yes.
Like the guts, first of all, the courage it
Absolutely.
takes to get up in front of a group and do something so vulnerable and so a creative process to put yourself out there is beautiful. And I that's what I love about watching.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a
even
one
going
person-
to see a play. Yeah.
Yes.
Or a monologue. Yeah. I always end up teary eyed when they take
Me
a bow
too.
at the end.
Me
I'm like,
too.
You guys worked so hard.
You did
I'm
so
proud
great.
of you.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. You're sharing your spirit with us.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That life force energy.
Yes.
And when I think that is what it comes down to, like when I'm inspired by someone or when I find some sort of practice that moves me,
Yes.
so deeply internally, just like being yet another example for that to ripple out, for somebody to catch that spark of inspiration and, just like permission to, just live authentically.
Yes.
And yeah.
I was listening to one of and people who follow Ram Dass, it's the same thing, and I am not that can say like it was his talk here at this date. I am not that.
Definitely not on that level
No.
there either.
But I was listening to one of his talks, and he was saying just that, like that. We're not here to try to get someone to move into love. We're here to move ourselves into that light-filled love place, and then it's practice. And we're just living authentically and practicing and doing the best we can, and that just ends up rippling. Like it catches.
I see what you did there. Grateful Dead. I see what you did.
Grateful Dead.
The ripple.
Rippling.
Ripple.
Oh,
You're a deadhead.
look at that.
Get out
That
of
wasn't
here.
even intentional.
Sure.
So do you think you'll ever teach Kundalini again? Yeah, of course, you never know.
I do.
You do, though.
I
Okay.
do have so I would really like to delve into more original Kundalini practices and teachings that are not necessarily by Yogi Bhajan. Like Kundalini yoga is mentioned in the Upanishads, and so it's not just this thing that.
What is original? What is the more original Kundalini?
I don't know.
You don't know.
And I'm not, I've had a few people send me a few sources, and my life has completely turned upside down in the past year. So I do not have the luxury of so much leisurely time where I'm just, hanging out, reading or researching.
No one's saying we can't make it up. If we say
well,
we're
that
making
was the
it
problem.
up. Well, no, if we say we're making it up, just like we're saying it's a cult. If you say it's a cult, you say you're making it up, but it's good. And people are like, I fucks with this.
Yes.
I made this up. Be upfront about it. You're going to go far in life.
And I have had, several friends and mentors tell me, like, can't it just be SiriAtma yoga at this point? Like with all the experiences.
Got my vote.
And, and that sounds cool too, to weave it all together, like dance and, sensual expression and, I don't know, I guess maybe some Kundalini.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because the eye gazing, that's, that was always very potent for folks.
Mm-hmm. And the breath work. I feel like a lot of breath work is missing. And even just, I would like to do a training on breath work so that I can feel more comfortable. I know the basic, alternate nostril, blah, 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 blah. But like to have more, it's something that's missing, I think, in a lot of yoga classes.
Yeah, and I've gone to just strictly breath work facilitated, where you're not moving or doing any yoga or anything other than focusing on this.
Well, pranayama is yoga,
breathing pattern. Yeah. And those, it's that same, if not more, elated, buzzy. I would call it the prana buzz when people would get it from Kundalini practice, but I get that.
You're woke up.
Oh yes. Oh, yes. You are so alive. Your life force is so turned on and just buzzing with.
That's what I remember from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could teach in our new studio. You want to tell her about the studio we're going to open?
No, she said no.
We were spitballing in the previous episode. He was like, okay, so if money wasn't an issue, what kind of a studio are we going to have? And we ended up saying we were going to have a traveling yoga studio that was a large, tent with a put-together hardwood floor that would put together.
That could also be soft, on demand.
Not soft. Well,
like cork?
Okay.
User experience. You choose your journey with a button.
And then it'd be like a sensory thing. Like he likes laser stuff around. Was it laser? I don't know. It's not laser. I can't describe. You asked me to describe.
No, fuck yeah. We're going with lasers.
But that wasn't at all. I don't know.
No, it's lasers for
but
sure.
It was, I imagined, I said, could we put a forest on the walls? Like nothing moving, but just like to look like we're in the middle of the forest doing yoga. And he's like, we could do that. And I'm like, okay, we could do that. But I imagine us there's a 4-day music festival somewhere. And we go and we set up our tent and we do yoga for 4 days, different classes. You could come be a part of that.
I would love that. Please keep me posted.
Okay.
Imagine if you could program the smells that happen where you don't have to light incense, but it's more of kind of like you program something and you can program the smells based around your class as well.
Ooh, so you want this traveling yoga studio to kind of be like a sphere, Las Vegas sphere.
That's what he mentioned.
Exactly what I said. You're hired. You're hired. She gets it.
She does. And I've never been to Vegas.
I've only been to Vegas for 3 nights of Dead and Company at the Sphere, and that was
so recently.
Yeah, so just not this past June of 24. Yeah, that was an epic experience.
I bet
Vegas is fun and fancy. I have no interest in gambling.
I feel like Vegas. I can get into enough trouble in St. Louis. I feel like I would be in jail within 24 hours of me being in Vegas. People are like, oh, but there's great shows. There's great stuff to do. I know, but I would have a sniffer for all the other stuff. And that's where I would be.
What other stuff?
I don't know. Anything.
The dark underbelly?
Seedy.
The seedy underbelly.
I like
Vegas?
seedy. I'm attracted to seedy.
Yeah, we
I
did
like cults in love and seedy behavior.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta travel together, Roxanne.
Yeah. This is really coming together.
Yin and yang. Yes.
Yes.
I think by episode 7, we're going to have a really defined, you know.
Yoga studio. So we asked to open anyone listening that has deep pockets that would like to fund this
Yeah, big ideas. You need to be open to weird ideas.
and have a lot of money.
And have a lot of money, yeah, because it's going to be free. We're not charging.
That's right. We're not charging anyone.
We're not burning Palo Santo. We're just going to make it smell like Palo Santo.
Another reason why
We're
this
gonna
won't be a
program it.
traditional cult is we're already well funded. We don't need the monies from you. You're not here for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. So, I might
come back. I might come back. We'll see.
tell all of our listeners that we're slowly gathering together here.
I'm one.
I love it. Thank you. Where they can find your beautiful slow flow classes.
Oh, so I'm at Blue Sky Yoga in South City every Wednesday, 7:30 to 8:30
On Watson.
Yeah, a little bit of a night owl-ish class.
Yeah.
And that's my only weekly recurring class right now. And then I have lots of things pop up for sound healing. You know, I have some yoga stuff pop up, but most of my events these days are geared around the gong and the crystal singing bowls as a little, you know.
Do you have any of those
cherry
coming
on
up?
top. Yes, I have. I'll be playing gong at a yoga collective this weekend in Faust Park.
Okay.
It's sponsored by Duo Dogs and a dispensary. So all the dogs will be there for everybody to come get all the snuggles and love on. You know, we're always told like, oh, service dogs can't be pet. Well, these Duo Dogs that's what their service is to be lovey.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, I love it too.
And this Faust Park on Saturday?
On Sunday.
On Sunday?
November 2nd. Yeah. And
Okay.
then the following Sunday, November 9th, I have my monthly installment of, it's called Simply Sound, and it's a donation-oriented sound bath at Blue Sky Yoga.
Okay. Every Sunday? Or
Once a month.
is it the
Once a month.
second Sunday? Or is it different? Okay.
It changes up.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Sunday after Thanksgiving, I'll be collaborating with my dear friend Priscilla Lang again. So she's an acupuncturist, and I create the soundscape, and she puts acupuncture needles in everyone in attendance. So everyone gets them in their ears, and then depending on how many people we have, sometimes she has time to do a pulse diagnosis and see where else you could benefit from a few needles.
Is that at Blue Sky also?
It is.
Wait, what is a
Yes.
pulse diagnosis?
She literally, from your pulse, can detect certain things with certain organs and systems and rhythms
heard of
within
it.
your body. And
She grabs my wrists.
gently.
I mean, grabs.
Get over here. She gently grabs my wrist, and then she
She takes your pulse.
is she doing the
takes your pulse, yes.
deep eye thing?
No.
Okay.
No.
No. Okay, so
Just
not-
getting
no
your
eye
pulse.
contact.
Just
She's-
getting your
Yeah.
pulse.
Her eyes closed.
Your eyes are probably closed. They don't
Yeah.
have to be.
Okay.
But her eyes are definitely open while she's administering the needle.
Oh, there's a needle. Wait, there's a needle?
Acupuncture close.
Oh. No, I thought we're
Gary.
talking about a pulse detection.
No, this is all the same. Acupuncture.
Acupuncture, sound
all the-
healing, and sometimes a pulse diagnosis to determine where to administer your
I know what
acupuncture.
acupuncture is. I just didn't know what the pulse diagnosis was.
It's
No needle involved in the pulse diagnosis.
All right, so this soundscape that you're creating, is this all physical instruments that you're using?
Yes. In fact, I get asked quite often, so you didn't have any other like sounds playing? Nope, it all came from this one big circle of metal. And
Just one gong.
just
How
one
big is the gong?
32 inches
Okay.
in circumference. Yes, circumference. I
don't know what that means.
Vocab here. Well, you know, radius
circumference?
is from the
The-
center in, diameter
diameter,
is
yeah.
the distance across. Circumference is a system.
You have
distance
a younger
around.
child than I do. Yes, that's when I knew that stuff, is when they were younger.
Yes.
That's great.
So yeah, 32-inch mercury planetary gong, very deep, bassy sound, and then the crystal bowls.
Is that the Italian place that makes gongs, or where's that? What brand? Where's it come from?
Pasty.
Paste, yeah,
The
yeah.
German,
Okay.
Germany, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty much the best ones.
Yeah, they're the Cadillac of gongs for
Yeah.
sure.
All right, so if you could buy any gong, price is an option. Because which one? Like,
So her eyes just.
tell me about.
Oh my
I recently
God.
got into gongs. I mean, look at that gong
I
over
want
there.
like
He has
a
one right there.
That's called a Facebook Marketplace gong.
How did I not notice that?
Right.
I was busy looking at that scary painting over there, which
Yeah.
I love.
Don't look.
Love.
Do not do the 3 minutes with him in the eyes, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I love that. So that's about 32 inches. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Facebook Marketplace, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a score.
Oh yeah.
If money was no object and I could have any gong, I would love like a 6 foot or 8 foot
Yeah.
gong.
Why are they so
What?
expensive?
6 foot gongs?
Oh,
They are-
yes.
I'm 5'4".
They're
Yeah.
They're bigger than me?
Uh-huh.
what are they like? I mean, they're 6 figures, right? More than $100,000, right?
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, you go up just a couple of inches and the price like triples.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Because I want one of those big
Can we
ones.
just start making gongs? We'll just start pumping out gongs too.
Well,
In
the
this COVID
That's what a
whoever's
friend of
going to do
mine
our
said.
whoever does our funding is also going to buy you this 8 foot gong.
or make me one.
Or make you one.
whatever. Yeah.
How do you
That's-
transport
yes,
that to
please.
places even?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Have you ever
it's-
seen one in person?
No, but there is the Memphis Drum Shop has a gong chamber with over 80 gongs, and I would love to take a
Holy
road trip
shit.
down there.
Yeah.
And they have a 6 foot gong allegedly. They have
That'll
a-
be the tier 1 when you come into our cult. You're carrying gongs everywhere we go, so we don't have to carry them.
There you
You're gonna
go.
work out.
Oh, there you go.
that's your that's your practice.
That's your practice.
pre-op.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It'll
Yeah, 12
it'll
months.
bring you
Just make
it'll
sure
bring you
change
enlightenment. Just
shoulders
that's
every
right.
time. Yeah, keep it evened out.
He introduced me to his little things on Tuesday.
The Koshi chime.
Yes.
I had never heard of. I had heard them play when I go to a sound bath, but I had never heard the name of them. Like he said, I have Koshis and Koshi chimes. I was like, I don't know what that
So
is.
it looks like you have all 4 elements over there.
I do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only right now own earth and air.
Okay.
So I will acquire fire and water eventually.
He likes to do sound stuff also.
I'm
Big time.
picking up on that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should have a collaboration event.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I only do them on full moons though, or I have been.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love that.
I call them micro retreats.
I love that.
90 minutes. But I make a soundscape, but I would say 90% of it is layered audio that I mix into a track that's 90 minutes.
Okay.
There's everything in there. Like one of the first times I did it, I downloaded like an entire NASA library of like us going to space and just like different communications. That's part of the Congress, the freecongress.gov or whatever that website is. It used to be a lot cooler. And I would download all of these like different sounds and like a lot of like Ram Dass or like Alan Watts and like layer that in, or like I think Steve Jobs has made an appearance. You never really know who's going to say something, but it's a lot of like elements, a lot of rivers. A lot of it was actually recorded. I used to go everywhere and record audio. So it's like one of them I had like a whole like tribes of Papua New Guinea, like deep jungle like sounds of them like chanting and stuff, and
Oh,
just like
yes.
layered it. One time I played the entire Pink Floyd like super low. You couldn't really hear it, but like you felt it. The Dark Side of the Moon was playing.
I
And then,
love
yeah,
this.
and I would bring up the levels like at certain times. You'd be like, what?
Yeah.
I once played just a
Very
little bit of Creed at
cool.
the very end of one. It was great.
Very cool. I've attended one where like whale sounds and
Oh, yeah.
sounds of outer space and water
Yeah.
sounds were also being played.
Atmospheric, yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah,
and
love that.
very much enjoyed it. Yeah,
Love
yeah.
that.
Well, yeah, I would love to attend one of your micro retreats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, on a full moon.
On a full moon, yeah.
A
Uniforms.
great time to get into a
We're
meditative.
gonna have to come up with
state.
uniforms.
He really wants some uniforms, and I could be
Yeah.
down for it. As long as I don't have to buy them. I mean,
I'll buy them.
okay,
They'll be provided for you.
okay, great.
You
Or I
just
could
need
get
to
it at
say-
Goodwill.
For our cult, that's what
For
we
the
have the
cult.
uniforms for. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Well-
Well, you just pick a color, right? That's what all the cults do, and then you just wear all that color.
So
I think he wants a specific uniform.
we would travel. So I'm big on this.
You know, like
I
scrubs.
should probably tell you just a little bit more before we wrap up.
He keeps talking about the uniform.
So
I feel like we're going to be in a uniform
several
by the end of this season.
Yeah, several years ago. So with my company, we'd travel the world making educational documentaries on photographers or artists, right? usually travel with like a team of like 6 or 7 people, like camera operators, assistants, directors, producers. We're moving like around, and it would be like, how fun would it be if everyone's dressed the same? So like, I would draw a lot of inspiration from like Wes Anderson. I would buy everyone from the shoes to the pants to the shirt to the jacket to the hat, the exact same thing. We would travel around. So one of them was like orange stocking caps, like Wes Anderson, Life Aquatic. We all had the exact same bright orange
Crocs.
Air 90s, Nike Air 90s, gray pants, a furry North Face that we got branded with my logo.
These are different uniforms than I was imagining.
Yeah. And we would travel through airports, all in the same. Everyone would come up to us and be like, who are you guys? We'd be like, we're the American ping pong team.
We might as well have a flash mob. We're already all dressed the same.
We would get invited into exclusive areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop, drop, and yoga.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can do anything walking around with a team of people dressed the same. You get invited in places you never thought you'd be. It's well worth the investment.
You are selling me on it.
It's well worth the investment.
I do like the way you think.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
That's great.
Oh, and right at 90 minutes. We've been
It
pretty
seems
solid.
to be our...
Yeah.
We keep saying, we've said an hour would be, but we just, 90 minutes seems to be the sweet spot.
I love how organic this has been.
Yes.
You know, there weren't like, I wasn't sent questions in advance to ponder my answers to, because,
it's conversation.
Yeah. You just get to be authentically you in the present moment. Show up however.
Right now.
Yeah. However you are. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you
has been
for
This is
being
great.
here.
absolute delight.
Yes. And everything you're talking about, I think is it. I know a lot of people watch the documentary and how that correlates to what is happening now in Kundalini. So it's been great. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
Yeah.
And we shall see what happens for, St. Louis and Kundalini yoga. And if a whole new Kundalini yoga
Emerges.
Bikram didn't ruin hot yoga. Hot yoga is going strong,
Yeah.
That's right.
Might be a dip, but it'll be back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because you're going to bring it back in our mobile yoga studio.
That's right. That we
And
program.
on that note, thank you so much for joining us. It was great to meet you.
Yeah.
It was
And
great.
thanks for listening.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of today's conversation, or the beginning, depending on how you look at it. Confucius once said, I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Of course, we've done it 1,000 times and we're still confused, so maybe Confucius was wrong. Or maybe we're just slow learners. Thanks for listening to the Unqualified Yogi podcast. For more of this nonsense, point your browser to theunqualifiedyogi.com. See you next time. Maybe.